Hey everybody, welcome back to Wigs Gaming. It is time to do another what is the worst Pokemon of every single type. Today it is Psychic, and I can't wait to get started. So, if you are excited, please be sure to hit the like button down below, and please subscribe if you're new. I'm getting these out every single day, and I'm hoping by the time I'm done with this entire series that we're in the hundreds, 200s potentially of subscribers. It really depends on how this video does, and it really depends on you guys. Make sure that you support. Now, let's get started. Psychic is going to be a tough one because at the end of the day, with Psychic types, a lot of them are powerhouses. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some that definitely lack. And that is where we start here in Generation 1 with a very obvious answer, and that is indeed Starmie. I'm not saying that Starmie is one of the worst things ever, but I definitely find it to be a disappointment compared to what we have prior. Slowbro and Slowpoke are super strong. They're slow, but they're strong. You can't... Oh, wait. I forgot this guy existed. Take back everything I said. Drowsy, so when you play a Generation 1 game, right? You play a Generation 1 game, you're not randomizing it, you get to pick whatever team you want, you're doing your thing, right? You might pick up an Abra early in the game. You might pick up a Slowbro earlier in the game. You might pick up a Execute in the Safari Zone. You might do the trade for either a Mr. Mime or a Jinx, depending on which game you're playing, and you're always going to catch Mewtwo at the end, and obviously Mew, no question, right? But one, I think the only where do you get Staryu? I don't know where to get Staryu. I think you have to fish for it. Beyond that, it only gets like halfway semi-decent water moves. It doesn't get Psychic to a super high level, and it's just all not that impressive compared to the other options here. I don't like its typing very much at all. So it's 100% Drowsy. Either way though, because no one, even if you go out and you get a Staryu, right? Even if you go out and get a Staryu and you evolve into Starmie, right? Why on earth would you use this? Why would you use Drowsy and Hypno? First of all, there's no way to trade, so there's no way to get a Hypno, so that's the first reason why you won't get a Drowsy, right? But the second reason is, why would you? The weakest Psychic type in all Gen 1. This thing does 0 damage to anyone. It's not bulky. All trainers do when they have this is just spam Hypnosis. Not doing it, man. Not doing it. Not doing it. Oh, I can do all the unknown forms, guys. This is a pretty easy answer in my personal opinion. It is unknown, obviously. You know what? Where's the W for Wigs? Z, Y, X, W. Sometimes I can't tell the letter, but I can tell it now. Look, I get it. It's a gimmick. Hidden power only. It's whatever type the hidden power is. I get the gimmick behind unknown. I think it's a cool idea, the way it's designed to be every letter of every alphabet. All of that is really cool. All of that is really, really cool. I don't mind that. But that doesn't mean that it's not horrible, and that doesn't mean that it's not a bad Pokemon. And when I look at the other Gen 2 options, there's not a whole lot. Wobbuffet, if executed properly, is phenomenal. Girafarig isn't the best. That would probably be the second worst. Natu and Xatu are fine. Espeon is great, and Slowking is great. You evolve into Jinx eventually. Obviously, Lugia, Celebi. So I have to go with Unknown. I do. I have to go with Unknown. Generation 3. I didn't know they added more Unknowns at Generation 3. That's news to me. That's news to me. That is news to me. This is an easy one. This is an easy one. It's definitely a toss-up between a couple of them. Obviously, Lunatone and Solrock are not good at all. In their movesets and by level up are not the best either, but they still learn TMs. And they are still rock types, which I like. I like the fact that they're a rock type. But the answer is obviously Chimecho. You get this around, I think it's Mount Pyre is the place where you have access to getting Chimecho. And if I remember properly, Mount Pyre is right after the 6th gym, to the point where you probably already have a full team, so you don't even want this thing. But beyond that, it's just too weak to take down anything in the Mount Pyre area, or really just anything in the rest of the game. You're going to run into a Psychic gym. You're going to run into a Water gym after that. But that water gym is going to be a whole bunch of bulky Pokemon like Walrein. You have no shot with a Psychic type. 0 shot. And then you have the Elite Four, which starts with a Dark Trainer. And if you're playing Emerald, it ends with Water. If you're not, it ends with Steven, who also has a whole bunch of Pokemon that Psychic can't do anything to. And then you have an Ice-type trainer in there as well, so the Elite Four Psychic. So Psychic, again, won't do a whole lot, and then you have a Dragon one in there too. So everything's bulky from then on, and you have a Psychic type that doesn't do a whole lot of damage. That's where I was going with that. That was a really long spiel. But this was sad. They 100% should have, in every way, shape, or form, given this thing an evolution, and they missed out big time. They really did. Now, with that out of the way, now we have our first difficult decision. Everything on this list is a powerhouse in some way or form, but Bronzor isn't. This thing is literally just Steel Geodude. When I first looked at this, I said, oh, it's Steel Geodude. Nothing different. Bronzong is kind of unique. I mean, it looks a little bit like Metagross in my opinion, but we'll go with Steel Geodude, right? And it's not that it's bad. Bronzong is really bulky. Bronzor, does Bronzor get good moves? Yeah, but it also just doesn't have any attack. But at the end of the day, I would say that Bronzor is worse than Chimecho, and that's why I'm not going to pick Chingling on here. I don't know why they bothered to give Chingling a baby form too. Why not give him an evolution? Why did you give him a baby form? That's something I just can't get behind. It doesn't make sense. But Bronzor is just, when it evolves, it gets better, but it's just not what we wanted from it, and it has too many weaknesses, unfortunately, due to its type as well. Generation 5. Wow. Wow. Okay. Because I put Swoobat in my flying video, I'm going to leave that alone. I think, honestly, it's... Oh, man, this is hard. It's probably Munna. Munna and Musharna are Pokemon that you get early on in the game, so a lot of people use them. But they... And Musharna's kind of bulky, but that's it. It doesn't really have a whole lot of attack, and it's different from what we're used to with a Psychic type. Not until Bronzor did we really get bulky Psychic types, but Musharna's really not like that bulky. If it's not Munna, it's probably Solosis. Obviously, Reuniclus is pretty cool, though. So I think this is the right choice. I think it is. I think this has to be the worst of a decent bunch if I don't count Swoobat and Woobat because I already used them. Gen 6, sorry. We got some Megas, obviously. We got 2 Mega Mewtwo's. We got an Alakazam. We got a Medicham. We got a Metagross. We got Latios and Latias. Gallade and Gardevoir. And Delphox. We got a lot of Megas. Now, the rest of these things are powerhouses. Inkay and Malamar. Hoopa. Right? So what are we missing here, guys? Who's the odd one out? Oh, that's right. This thing exists. Did you guys remember before I clicked this that Esper was a Pokemon? I'll tell you right now. I forgot Esper was a Pokemon until I looked at this. That's all you need to know. All you need to know. Gen 7. This has some powerhouses too. It does. But at the end of the day, there is one thing. I'm going to make a personal opinion answer, okay? I'm going to make a personal opinion answer here, okay? I don't remember what the name of your rival is in Sun and Moon, okay? But there is one thing I can tell you for sure. The whole Nebby get in the bag thing that happened again and again and again and again made me want to rip all the hair out that I had on my head. And if you guys don't know, I'm bald, so I don't have any hair, but I did back then. So that might tell you maybe I actually did. And just because of how annoying that is, I want this here. But also, statistically, this is one of the worst Pokemon, so you guys can't be mad at me. Generation 8. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Is it Hatena? Do I go Hatena? Do I go... Oh, wow. This is not easy. Galarian Rapidash actually ended up being pretty good. I don't remember this guy, but I remember using him, and he was actually really weak defensively. I think I have to go with this guy. Again, I forgot his name, but I used this guy for like half of my time playing through Sword and Shield. And the reason why I took him off my team is he just died in one hit every single time. He just didn't do a lot of damage. So wasn't the biggest fan. Looks like they gave him... Oh, that's his Gigantamax. So maybe his Gigantamax form is pretty good. That could be possible. That could be possible. But still not the best. Still not the best. Gen 9. Gen 9. Wow. Is it Screamtail? Or is it you evolved from Relor? You're Relor's evolution. I forgot your name, but you're Relor's evolution. I think you're kind of cool and unique. I forgot your name, but I remember I caught one of these the other day. You're the fish. And then we've got Screamtail. We've got, obviously, Armarouge. I think... I don't know. What do we go with here? What are we thinking? I think we go with Relor's evolution. I think it's unique, but I guarantee this thing is really fragile and frail. It just looks it. I think it's a cool design, don't get me wrong, but I look at this. There's a lot of good stuff on this list, man. A lot of really, really good stuff. I just can't. So who's the worst? Well, there's a statistical answer and there's a proper answer. The statistical answer is it's unknown, right? But I think the proper answer, quite honestly, is this. Before I clicked on it, I wasn't sure that was what I was going to go with, but the fact that I realized that this thing was a Pokemon really said it all to me. So there you have it. Esper is the worst Psychic type in all of Pokemon. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll do Bug next, so make sure you don't miss out and hit that subscribe button.